to the weekly weather briefing for the National Weather Service, Peachtree City office. I'm Sid King, and I'll be giving you a rundown on what to expect in the next few days. So just an overview here before we get started. First thing we're going to be looking at is we're going to have some cold temperatures remaining the next couple of days and some breezy conditions, and those are going to lead to some low wind chills tonight and into tomorrow morning as well, Friday, Saturday morning. And then temperature and humidity will begin to increase during the weekend and into next week, raising those temperatures well above freezing into next week. Showers and thunderstorms will then be possible as we get moisture return off the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll be mostly on Sunday and Monday. There could be a little chance of thunder with that, especially Sunday night and into Monday morning, but no severe weather is currently expected. We don't have any winter weather concerns through the period because of the lack of precipitation chances while it is below freezing overnight, and then it will be above freezing while some of these precip chances come in. Fire weather conditions are also not expected to be critical and are expected to remain outside of critical thresholds. And then we'll talk about the drought update and then the 8 to 14 day outlook on what to expect beyond this week. So just to look at the current conditions, the upper level pattern will keep the Georgia dry in the short term. Our region is sort of in the dry slot between a couple of systems, one well to the north here, up in this area, and then another to the south below that cold front on in Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi. So we're sort of between those systems. We're having a dry cold front move through the central part of the state today, and that's going to bring another shot of cold air into the area. Speaking of cold temperature, here's a look at our lows tonight and into tomorrow morning. Some areas above freezing, but we still have the northern parts of the state below freezing, especially here in the northern mountains in Blairsville, around 24 degrees. Slightly lower with the wind chills, a lot of 20s here in the northern parts of the state. Here's a look at the lows and wind chills tomorrow, where some gustier winds could lead to some wind chills below 20 in the mountains. In the higher elevations, especially around the Blairsville area, those could get below 20. So that's something that's could be a hazard in those areas, especially the general public, keeping with plants, animals, and things like that in the area. So that's, but that'll be the last couple of days for a little while of temperatures that cold. And as we can see in the weekly forecast, I've added about 6 cities here: Athens, Atlanta, Blairsville, Rome, Macon, and Columbus, just for a sample throughout the state. And the winds begin to shift to a southerly component late Saturday and into Sunday, and that leads to quite a pronounced increase in temperatures. The lows go from into the 20s and 30s into the 40s and 50s over the weekend and early next week. But with those and with that temperature increase and moisture return, we also see a return of showers and thunderstorms in that time as well, especially Sunday and Monday, where we have some 60% chances right now and 65s in the southern parts of our region. So most of these showers and thunderstorms will be in the southern part, but we do expect those chances to increase even further as we get more confident in that forecast getting closer to it. So on the topic of Sunday and Monday, that is when we expect the highest precipitation chances through the period. We do have a slight chance of thunder possible across south and central Georgia Sunday night and Monday morning. This image down here to the bottom of the screen are the chances between 7 p.m. Sunday and 7 a.m. Monday. And I know that might look scary with the bright red in there, but I assure you right now we only have a slight chance of thunder in that area. But that little line down there south of Rome to Canton to Gainesville, around below that, you might have a rumble of thunder or two associated with that. But No matter the case, we currently don't expect any severe weather with this storm. We're just not really seeing the instability or the other parameters that we anticipate when we would have severe. So looks like it'll be a good rainmaker for us, and without too much of the threat of severe weather associated with that. So speaking of which, we have the rainfall forecast right now. Here's our 4 to 5 day prediction for Sunday and Monday. It looks like most of our region is going to be in that range between 1/2 an inch and an inch during that time. On 1 through 7 for the entire week, it looks like it could be about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches over that time as well. Of course, as always, we expect some locally higher amounts possible, and if we get more confidence in wet weather beyond Sunday and Monday, those totals could increase as well. Due to the warming temperatures, no winter weather conditions are expected through the period because of the warming temperatures, and also because of the lack of precipitation while it is below freezing. So these maps here both indicate that we are below any appreciable chance of icing or snow accumulation within the next 7 days. Because of increasing moisture over the next few days, that will result in a relative humidity above critical thresholds. So despite the fact that we might have some wind gusts getting up to 15-20 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon in particular, the humidities will be well above the critical thresholds into the 40% at their minimum. So we don't expect any fire weather concerns throughout the period. And even after that, it's going to get more humid from there. So that's not going to be an issue that we perceive. On to the drought summary. The last update came out this morning, and because of some of the winter storm and some of the rainfall we got in the south of Georgia last week, we have actually seen a Class 1 improvement in some areas in central Georgia. A couple of areas have still experienced degradation, but overall through our entire area, we're still seeing areas that are mostly abnormally dry and with a moderate drought through the southern and central part of our state, and then a couple of areas abnormally dry to the north. Finally, the 8 to 14 day outlook, and of course, remember that this is in no way deterministic, but this is a look at what our trends are, what we could trend towards based on our normals and our averages that we see for this time of year. So based on that, it looks like we'll have a 40 to 50% chance, especially in the north, of being wetter than normal in the week after this one, and then a 33% chance in the north, a 40 to 50 in the central, and then a 50% in the southern part of the state of being warmer than normal. So once again, this isn't deterministic, but it does look like what we're trending towards, with a little bit wetter and a little bit warmer. So to recap, cold temperatures and breezy conditions are going to allow low wind chills to occur tonight and tomorrow into the morning hours, and high pressure and the return of southerly flow will begin to increase the temperatures and humidity during the weekend. As this humidity increases, showers and the possibility of a few thunderstorms will occur on Sunday and Monday, and we don't anticipate any severe weather with it, but it could put down about an inch, maybe up to 1.5 inches of rain for us during that time. The lack of precipitation early on this period and then the warming temperatures will inhibit any chances of winter weather during the period. Fire weather conditions are expected to remain outside of critical thresholds, with increasing humidity over the weekend and next week. We have seen minor improvements in drought conditions, but abnormally dry to moderate drought conditions persist throughout the state of Georgia in most locations. The 8 to 14 day outlook is still trending slightly wetter and warmer than average. So that concludes this week's briefing. Here's our contact information if you ever need to get in contact with us. And all of us here at the National Weather Service in Peachtree City would like to thank you for your attention and we hope you have a great week.